Hello and welcome to This Week in Gwent. Once again with a new co-host here, Ceely. Ceely, how are you?
Hello. Yeah, I'm doing really good. Thanks for having me. It's really fun starting the weekend like this. I hope you're doing good, Busha.
I am doing great, and it's awesome to have you. You are known as the person who has the most annoying emotes on Twitch with the
Annoying.
with what's up move a lot. So everybody's spamming it right now. So
Yeah.
it's really good stuff. Annoying in a good way, of course. Annoying in a good way.
Yeah, of course. Don't worry. I think it's a fun little colorful thing popping up, making chat experiences a little bit more cheerful, maybe
Yeah.
sometimes.
I've seen it throughout World Masters, like being posted all the time.
Yeah.
So it's a must. It's a must. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to Silly Stuff because you get that awesome emo with the wiggle going back and forth.
There we go. Yeah.
All right. What we are here to do is we're here to talk about what has happened throughout this week in Gwent, and it was a big week for us because we concluded World Masters with Cybers taking the win. Easy clap, coming in, taking the win, and then saying, "By the way, I'm going home." So I'm going back to work and do important, grown-up stuff. So we have that for sure. Ceely, did you manage to watch it? What do you think?
Yes, I watched the whole weekend. I think it was amazing. Everyone's divinations were like all over the place, but I think, Cybers really put on a really good showing of his skills and talents, and he pulled through all the way. Which, I mean, really impressive high note to kind of leave Gwent
Yeah.
on. It's a shame that he's leaving. And also, I mean, Ivy the cat was the
Oh,
MVP of that weekend. Yeah.
totally agree. Totally agree. When I saw her for the first time, I was like, "Oh." Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always the pets. The pets, they're pretty much, they're kind of in the backseat there, but they instantly you see them on camera, they're like, okay, and then everybody starts spamming. Can we see the cat? What's the cat's name? Like that's the first thing you need to ask.
Yeah. And Iluha's dog,
Yeah,
the dog was missing this week, and maybe that's a secret ingredient you gotta have. Like, have your pet give you a little bit of pep talk in the background.
yeah. Also, kind of just to keep you maybe level, like when you have a man's best friend or a cat in this case, is pretty much chilling with you, and it kind of gives you this chill approach to
Yeah,
everything. Yeah,
exactly.
so that happened. So we have the season three winner crowned, and now we're moving on to season four in early January, if I remember correctly. So get ready for that. So we'll start the season then, and first open happening in April. So since we started with that, we released also the roadmap. We announced that Vlad is taking over from Jason, which a lot of you probably did not expect, but yeah, it was a nice one. Um, Also, we said that journeys will be making a return because a lot of you have been asking about Geralt's journey, series journey, when I can get it, like what's going to happen to them, like especially series journey. I feel like a lot of people didn't finish because it was a shorter one. So now you'll be able to go back to them, or you can play them for the first time if you haven't. So that's gonna be cool. And then card releases pretty much done in the same way that we did them this time, except there will be smaller releases happening through April, July, October, and December. So all of those things happening then. Yeah, it's gonna be a packed year for sure with all the things coming, and of course balance changes, hot fixes, and things like that happening all the time. So yeah, that's pretty big for us, and I'm happy that we got the roadmap early because I was pushing like Jason and then Vlad, guys, let's do roadmap sooner than we did last year because last year I think it was like February, I think, which I totally feel like it's too late. It's good to kind of do it in December and give people something to look forward to into the next year. So yeah, so thankfully that happened early. You guys know what to expect, and I'm excited for it because yeah, it's going to be another cool year for Gwent, and I'm also really excited about all the esports events because they're amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Celia, you got to cast one of the opens this year. We were super excited for.
Yes.
How was the experience for you?
Oh my goodness. It was little bit nerve-wracking, but it was so much fun because casting is truly something I enjoy doing with Gwent. Like, it's just a perspective that's so cool. And I mean, if I just like thinking back at it when I was playing The Witcher 3 and I was playing Gwent in that game, if
Hmm.
I would have told myself then that I'll be like on the standalone Gwent game and I can cast an official tournament, like that alone is crazy to me. So it was
Oh,
such a cool opportunity and it was so much fun. So yeah,
yeah.
really great.
You're super passionate about it, and also the thing I have to say, like when we had like the rehearsals, you and trying it were like super smooth. Like it's like you guys have done this before numerous times, so it went super smooth. So really congrats once again on that, and hopefully we can do more cool stuff next year. Because yeah, I think
Thank
this
you.
year proved that we can. I always like to have, in all the events, kind of mixing up the cast a little bit, not to have always the same people coming in. Although I know community has their, favorites, we all kind of do, but I feel like it breeds like a lot of fresh air when new faces come in. And you also have been doing the qualifiers, you also have been doing other things, so it's not like you haven't worked in front of the camera in any way, so you're totally like a natural, and you have this like positive, awesome energy. But yeah,
Aw.
we'll get to your energy and positivity when we get through all the
Wow.
all the all the stuff that we need to get through when it comes to
All right.
Twig.
Yeah.
So we also had the update come out and the start of season of the Wild Hunt. I know there are a couple issues currently in the game, but worry not. We plan to have a hotfix next week to address some of the things which are problematic. Things, for example, like refreshing uprising will like trigger King's Radovid the Fifth. You get additional sidemen when it triggers. So we'll be looking into things like that in order to fix it. We also know we're behind with the card back that you were supposed to receive for World Masters, so that should be also in the hotfix. And I know everybody's going to be crying Milva right now, so no, we won't be hotfixing Milva. Just so all you know. But we're looking. In all seriousness, we're looking into Milva. But I think it's too early to jump the gun, and try to jump into getting an instant nerf. Let's wait for the meta pretty much to settle a little bit, and then we'll make a decision. And I know that I already see people writing about it, and yeah, I also think that some of our community members have been very vocal about it, and also like I saw Flake tweeting out yesterday that Milva is fine, but things with Radovid are not fine. So I think I think we kind of are on the same page when it comes to this. But like I said, we're looking into Milva, and we're not. It's not like we're saying no, we will not touch it at all. We will not nerf it. But yeah, I expect more things to come closer to when the next update is. So yeah, easy clap. Okay. One last thing on the roster is PT Adamczyk, who you might know from the awesome music that he does for Gwent, but he also did for Cyberpunk. Super talented dude. You can actually go have dinner with him if you're in Poland. And all proceeds from this go to a charity to help young homeless people, which is amazing. And yeah, it's on this Polish thing called Allegro. So if you're Polish, if you're watching, um, totally bid on that because it's going to a good cause. And that's what I also love about. I'm not a big Christmas person because I feel like it's all about commerce and selling stuff and pushing stuff to people. But I love the charity part of it and the family aspect of it. So those are the things that are kind of which I enjoy about it. So yeah, more charity stuff is good always. So yeah, those are the red news. Ceely, what do you think about Milva? Hot topic.
All right, so I want to say, like, first off, I love Milva's card design. I really like it. I feel like it's creative, and you can. I mean, Squirtle, I'm my favorite faction, so whenever it gets a little buff in there, I'm gonna be happy. I think Burja can agree with me. It's the superior faction, of
Oh
course.
yes, agreed. Easy.
But yeah, she is definitely of the stronger cards released. Along with I think Radovid. Like Radovid alone as a card is really strong. You mentioned the Scytheman thing. Yeah, that is really big. But then NR otherwise maybe isn't that strong at the
Mhm.
moment because a little bit of Milva, making engine dicks and alumni things not really work as well anymore. So it's a little bit of a kind of rabbit wheel. But then if NR would be again like up there this patch, then Radovid is definitely like a card to watch out for because himself he's really really strong. Yeah. So many points. I played like the old school Witcher deck where he came in with the short round again. So amazing for that deck, and it's quite funny to see him carry a faction that hasn't been played for a really long time.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, also like what you said, like these new cards, they enable a lot of factions and archetypes, and they pretty much, I think it always introduces something new to the meta, and I think it was needed, and that's kind of also the thing that we're looking into doing next year. Like, of course, there is the question of power creep, which is the number one word, which kind of keeps on coming back. But like Vlad said in the video, we also are going to look into existing cards which are underperforming or have similar abilities but worse, and editing them, changing them and updating them in order for them to be better. So easy clap. Okay, moving on to community news. There are a lot of holiday themed stuff, and big shout out to the Westphalian Gwent for making these. Like I said, I'm not a big Christmas person. Like, I need time to kind of get into the Christmas vibe for sure. But I enjoy these. I enjoy these a lot, and it's always something that I've been mentioning to our Gwent devs that, guys, we need some Christmassy stuff. We need some more cool holiday themed stuff, because I don't know, maybe I'm not a big fan of the holiday season itself, but I'm a big fan of like making alternative arts for stuff, or making leader skins that have cool things. And yeah, we'll have a winter event this year, so expect some cool stuff there. So yeah, shout out for these, they're amazing. You also went on a Gwent trivia, if I know, because I was talking to Flake. How was that one?
Oh, that was so much fun. It's going to be released tomorrow on the YouTube channel. There was a link right there. You can go check it out. It was a lot of fun, and you want to watch it just because of Trinit's and Zubidoo's drawings. Like, they were so good. You don't want to miss out, I promise.
So for sure, you got to check those out. We also have, since Flake is kind of like wrapping up on making all this content, I also was him on the Flake Miri podcast without being either Flake or Shinmiri. So filling in for Shinmiri, really cool one. It's already out on YouTube and also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google. Well, language is so hard today. And yeah, you gotta check them out for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say here with the podcast coming in hot, I think Shinmuri should be shaking in his boots right now because you are coming for his gig. You're casting in the Masters, and now you're taking his podcast spot. He should be scared.
That casting thing, nerve-wracking. That's one thing. Second one, I was like, what am I gonna say?
You did great. Yes, everyone loved it.
I like this hand. It looks pretty good. Now Tailbot is thinking what he's gonna play. So yeah. I'm happy that people enjoyed it. For sure I should get more into casting, but yeah, the plan for now is to play a lot more Gwent in the next upcoming holiday season, in order to, when we have some time off, I'm going to be pretty much playing the game and getting back to it, so I can get my casting form, so I can get in fighting form for casting. Then yeah. So
nice.
Watch out, Ceely. I'm out for your job.
Oh, I'm scared now.
Pretty much, I can now take over all the roles and just become the Gwent overlord.
Yeah, I think, was it Pabs that posted like this meme where it was like basically the introduction image that you guys send out every time you introduce the casting crew or the broadcast crew, and then there was your face for everything.
I missed that one. I have to see it then. I missed that one. I need to contact him. He does the most awesome stuff.
I need to. Yeah,
he does
so
the
good.
most awesome stuff.
For sure.
So yeah, I think one more thing from the community side is the beginner guides, of course, episode 18, Northern Realms with Zubidoo. Zubidoo was, I think, the first. He was the first co-host on the new Twig format. So check it out. Yeah, you and Zubidoo everywhere, pretty much. Awesome stuff. A meme corner. Of course, a Milva meme, low effort. Of course, they never given up on the match. Oh, I think they will when I show them this. And yes, there's Milva and Maddock, of course. And also something that I enjoy a lot is Gwent related jokes by the Novgorod Journal. My favorite one, what doctor specializes in Gwent? The cardiologist. It's so good. It's such a dad joke that I'm not surprised that I like it a lot.
For sure.
Cool. Okay, so we got business out of the way. Now circling back to you, Ceely, how how do you maintain this positivity? Because you have this like positive vibe to you, this like kind of ray of sunshine thing going on.
Oh,
How do you do it?
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like in general, like streaming and being online and that type of thing, it's I feel like it's different from real life in a way. It's different from work
Hmm.
life. It's different from all of that stuff, and it's a separate own thing. So I feel like you can come on and you can start a stream and kind of don't have to think about the other things that might worry you because I mean we all have our baggage and
Yeah.
luggage. So I feel like it's just a great space to be able to kind of be yourself and really don't have to worry about anything. So I think it comes from that. And also personally, when I watch streams, I love watching people who have good energy. I love watching people who keep me entertained and talk about different things and different topics. So I try to aim to kind of do that as well. So yeah, I think I would
Yeah.
say it comes naturally.
It's also something that you mentioned, like it's quite difficult to have this ability to stream and be focused on like the game, especially when it's a card game, because you need to be focused and trying to keep people entertained by interacting with them and talking about multiple things. So
Yes.
that's something that I feel like you do super well, and it's something that I think kind of takes a lot of practice. But I also agree, like streaming lets you kind of be yourself, lets you have fun, lets you interact with people, even though they're only typing in chat, but still it is some type of interaction. And yeah, I think it just feels good. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
yeah, you also mentioned that you played The Witcher 3 and you played Gwent there. So how did you get into the Witcher universe? Was it through The Witcher 3 or did you start with books or how was it for you?
It was through The Witcher 3, like many people.
Mm-hmm.
I just read about it being such a good game. And like after playing some other RPGs, I was kind of like Googling, like, okay, what game to play next? And then it was like, you have to play The Witcher. I was like, all right, sweet. And it was just such a crazy experience. That game is so very dear to me. It's definitely like my number one RPG. Um, just forever. I don't know. I can't even describe like when you. I think it was the Baron, Bloody Baron quest that made me realize like, holy fluke,
Yeah,
this is a good game.
yeah.
Like this is a good game, and then of course Gwent is in that, and I couldn't get enough of the whole Witcher universe. And I saw actually Gwent ads when Gwent was in beta,
Okay.
and Yennefer was on my internet browser telling me to play Gwent. And so I downloaded it. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have any card game experience before
Okay.
then, but I just loved the art and the lore and everything of it. So here we are.
So that was how it started. Did you later play on the expansions also? So Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, or yeah,
Yes, yes.
everything.
Everything has been consumed. Do you have a favorite expansion yourself? I mean, I'm sure you've played them also.
Blood and Wine, because
Okay.
Regis. I've been a big Regis fanboy because I started with the books as a kid, so for me it was very natural I wanted to see him kind of portrait, and the portrayal that I saw of him was a little bit different than the one that I saw him and imagined him in the when I was reading the books. But yeah, I was sold. Like I saw the concept art because I was already working at CDPR. So I joined just after the release of Witcher 3, and I was playing it nonstop. I even had some bugs, which I was kind of reporting on the forums, and I was getting replies from my, first boss there, so Marcin, and yeah, it was really cool. I still have like the best memories from playing Witcher 1, Witcher 2, Witcher 3 because I played the old ones too. Did you ever play 1 or 2, or did you not go back to those yet?
I have played The Witcher 2, but not Witcher 1. I heard that it might be worth watching the story just because the story is amazing. So, watching the game on YouTube or something like that might be something that I will do because I've heard that the mechanics are a little bit clunky. How did you feel when you were playing it?
When I was playing Witcher 1, I was I think 19. So for me it was already at that time it was something that was revolutionary
Yeah.
because it brought the Witcher world to life. And previously, like I said, I was only in like reading books, and I read all of them, and I was like, okay, like I love the universe. It was actually my father who kind of introduced it to me. So after that, I played Witcher One. I was like, wow, this is so incredible. But then, of course, like you said, like if you play it now, it feels kind of clunky, especially the fighting and stuff like that. But the story, I think still holds to this day, like easily. And then
Yeah,
yeah,
I've heard that.
yeah, and then Witcher
Mm.
Two, I played on sick leave. I remember. So also I remember I was on sick leave from work. I was working. I don't remember when I was working there, but it was some other company for sure. And I played Witcher Two, and I was like, this is like much better, even better. And it had Yorvet, so that's also
Yeah,
when I fell in love with
exactly.
Yorvet. So easy.
So you play them all like in order, like one, two,
Yes,
three.
yes,
That's
yes,
really
yes.
cool. Yeah. Yeah, I got very spoiled with Witcher 3 being the first game, and maybe that's why Witcher 1, the mechanics I heard are a little bit iffy. But yeah, I'm just, I have to watch the story,
Yeah,
and I have to get to the books as well. You said that you read them, and I think I feel like for a lot of Polish people, of course, the whole Witcher started with the books and is very dear to a lot of people over there, which then seeing that series being adapted to this amazing game
yeah.
series as well. See, it just seems really, really cool. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's how it started for us, and it's even like mandatory reading it in school, like when you're like high school, of course, because not before that, because it's a little bit dark, grim, and
Yeah.
of course there's a lot of like sexual content there for which is probably not good for developing kids at that early stage. But yeah, I remember like reading them for the first time, and yeah, I just like that it has this, it's very like Slavic. So for us, as people, in Poland, as Slavic people, let's say, then for us it's like even more tangible, let's say. So we eat it up easily, and we had like a Polish TV show that was about The Witcher, and I remember still watching that one. And I know it's bad, and people will say that it's terrible, not the best acting and stuff like that. For me, I loved it. I ate it up. So for me, like I've mentioned this numerous times, it's like you can attach Witcher to anything, and I will instantly buy it, read it, interact with it. I'll love it till the end. So yeah, same
Yeah.
same goes with we had on Netflix the Vesemir anime, right? So I watched that one. I instantly loved it, and I know there are people who disliked it because it was, there are some crazy things that are happening. There are things like, like using Igni to defrost a whole lake and stuff like that done by Vesemir.
Sure.
I know it's over the top, but it's like over the top cool. So yeah, totally, I can live with that.
Yeah, I totally love that as well. I felt like you have to take it as like the genre it's presented as. It's like an anime version, so take it as that and maybe separate it from like that book experience or that game experience you have and take it as something a little bit different. I did that with the Witcher Netflix show as well.
Hmm.
And for me, that was like, I'm so excited for season two coming up, like
Same,
really, really
same.
soon. Yay. But yeah, I think Vesemir Witcher Netflix was amazing. I really loved it. And same with season one Netflix. Like, there's so much Witcher content to be consumed, and I'm here
Dude,
for all of it. I think that's
same.
that's just really cool.
Same, same. Even if it's lore inaccurate, totally you can count on us to watch it
Yeah.
and then and check it out because it's just amazing. Yeah, I wish there were more books, to be honest, and because yeah, that's kind of how it started. But yeah, totally 10 out of 10 recommend reading them because it gives you a little bit more of a perspective into the whole thing. And also, like, of course, like with the games, we have our own interpretation when it comes to things, which is of course okay. But yeah, with the Vesemir thing, I also kind of treat it like a spin-off, but something really
Hmm.
cool. You also mentioned that Gwent is like your first CCG that you started off with. Did you ever have
Yeah.
any interest in any card games, or did you collect anything as a kid, maybe like Pokemon cards or something like that, or was that something that you were not really interested in?
Yeah, I did collect a few Pokemon cards as a kid, but I didn't actually play it. Like, it was
Hmm.
just like if you went to the kiosk, then you're like, "Mom, can I have this?" And then it's like, "Fine, it's a euro, you can have it." So then I would look at my little cards and just be happy that I had them, but I never traded them, stuff like that. I remember like, was it Yu-Gi-Oh cards was
Yeah.
kind of big when I was a kid, and it was especially like the guys were trading and playing and stuff like that. So That would be my only card game experience up
Hmm.
until I played Gwent.
Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, not that much.
Yeah, but now, like starting off with Gwen, did you ever think about maybe jumping onto any other CCGs, or are there any, I don't know, card game based maybe roguelikes that you played? Because there's also stuff like that, or do you stick mainly to Gwent?
I played Slay the Spire that I
Hmm.
really really love after playing Gwent, and then I also have played a little bit of Legends of Runeterra,
Hmm.
which is a mana based card game. So that
Yeah,
was like new for me and kind of difficult to get into. So I appreciate Gwent for not having the mana system.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, it's a little bit different in the way it plays. Like it's kind of difficult to compare the two. I think they are so different. But yeah, I still play it. And I'm having fun with Runeterra definitely. But Gwent is up there for me. It's very unique. And then I mean the arts. Like hello, can anything compare to Gwent arts or Gwent premiums? Yeah, just amazing stuff.
I have the same. I have the same thing because, like you probably know, I've been playing MTG for a long time, and I still have this thing
Yeah.
that, yeah, I love the art in MTG, but I do not get like premiums. Premiums are just foil cards. It's like wow, it shines, and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't do it now for me. Like when I saw like the first Gwent cards and the first ones that we did, that were premiumified, I was like, wow, this is incredible to have this amount of detail and amount of animation going into cards themselves. So yeah, got me also hooked. And yeah, like you said,
Yeah.
the thing that's important is no mana base, because getting like mana screwed in a card game, the worst feeling ever. It's just like,
Exactly. That is so true. Yeah, I feel like Gwent is beginner friendly in that regard, that it's
mhm.
quite straightforward in terms of like the mechanics. I understand that the maybe the long text on cards can feel a little bit overwhelming to a new player, but when I started playing Gwent, I mean, it was a little bit different then because it was beta.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still a straightforward mechanic, and coming into it not having played any CCG before, it felt really welcoming. So I definitely think that's something that Gwent can be really really proud of, having that mechanic,
No.
and then evolving from that base mechanic to all of these different cards now, which I feel like Homecoming really did enable for Gwent, and I think that's a really really cool thing. Like you can see, even though Milva, of course, is over a little bit overpowered right now and very very strong. Just the card mechanic of that one is really
Fun.
amazing, and I look forward to seeing new cards like that.
Yeah, I'm also happy that our designers are kind of taking a different approach when it comes to designing
Yeah,
these cars. Kind of play a little bit and go a little bit more crazy. And I feel like after Homecoming, we had this possibility. And like Jean was in the previous twig that we were doing, he was saying that, it's an evolution process when it comes to creating stuff. So now they can go a little bit more crazy, design different things. And it's just also fun for them in terms of like the design space and kind of how they have been evolving with it. So yeah, really hyped about that for sure.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
what's your favorite Witcher character, since we're circling back to the Witcher related stuff?
My favorite Witcher character, I think I still have a lot of love for both Ciri and Yennefer
Hmm.
in the Witcher universe. In the universe, because I mean, my first introduction to them was when I played the games, and they were both like kind of different, at least for the games that I had played at the time. Like, both are very strong female characters
Hmm.
that, do their own things by themselves. They're strong, independent women,
Yeah,
and they don't take no nonsense from from
from
people,
anyone.
which I
Yeah,
can appreciate a lot. And that was like really, um, that was just really cool to see those characters. And so yeah, those are definitely still my favorites.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good, good.
What about
Team
you?
Team Yen, Team Yen all the way. Yeah,
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
said, for me, Regis. Although I also really like the introduction of Gonter Odim, as the anti-hero, let's say, and Olgerd,
hmm
like his the whole like
oh
storyline
yes,
with Olgerd and Iris for me was really amazing. And yeah, he was quite a cool new character, which I didn't experience because it's not something that was in the books in any way. So having Olgerd there was incredible. Yeah, Regis, I think also Zoltan. So all of Geralt's buddies were
yeah,
cool. And yeah, of course, I mean, Ciri is awesome. Ciri is just a badass, and it's
yeah.
it's cool because that she is training to become a witcher. She has this amazing magical power within her, which is also really cool. And yeah, I think she even ups Geralt in my scale, because Geralt is the, you know, the grumpy guy.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we love Geralt, of course, as a character, but you're right in that, it's fun having this Witcher that is not like a stereotypical Witcher because of the mutations and
Hmm.
stuff not having been applied to there. And then, of course, a female Witcher, which isn't a thing. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I think Ciri's a really cool character. And I gotta agree with you, like, I played Hearts of Stone, and just like Gaunter O'Dim might be one of my all-time favorite like villains.
yeah,
He's like it's such a complex character. It was just so cool playing. Like you can't figure out, is he good, is he bad, what is he, and then is he like the most evil thing ever? Basically,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just done so well. And Iris, I also love Iris. Like
yeah.
probably the saddest character of the
It's
whole
true. It's true.
series, but that quest is just it 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 really is something you have to like. I think like I don't know, streaming that seems weird to me, but when I was playing it by myself, I was really really feeling it and feeling all the emotions. I think,
True.
oh, so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was amazing for sure. And yeah, also like you mentioned Bloody Baron before that. Like Bloody Baron and this one are like the two saddest one, because I think Bloody Baron was the quest that I played when I played it for the first time. I was also playing it at home on when it came out on PS4, and I just got the PS4 just to get Witcher at that time. And I played it, and I remember I just put my pad down and I was like, what just happened? I was like,
Yes.
how is this
Yes.
even possible? It's like, what did I do? Like, is this my fault? Should I go back now? It was like, no, we have to man up and like, continue. But I needed some
Mhm.
time to process the whole thing. I had to process the what happened. And I think
Yeah.
I also had the same thing with Olgerd and Iris, that
Yeah.
you get hit instantly, and then it's like, oh wow, this is a lot to process.
It really is, but that's what just makes the game so cool because, yeah, The Witcher 3 was the first time I feel like I've ever experienced that depth to characters and to a video game when I first played it. So it sticks with you, and it's just this whole experience of course the Witcher world is not black and white, and the games also portrayed that in a really really cool way. Same, like I think Thronebreaker did an amazing job at
Yeah,
that. I think Thronebreaker is like a super I think underrated for what it does. Like
I
the
agree.
story there is amazing, the choices that you do, it just the Witcher world like really at its best in that game. It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it also shows that what our writers, our quest designers, what they're really good at is telling like compelling stories, but also like telling stories that have their consequences. And either the consequences are immediate, or they come on later, and then you're like, what did I do? Am I
Yeah.
like you start to kind of like think, am I a good human?
Exactly.
Am I
Yeah.
playing this game? Like, if you have to like double check yourself when you're playing a game, and to double check the decisions that you're making, is kind of like, wait, is this a game? Is this becoming kind of real life, that I need to like check what I'm doing? So yeah, yeah,
No, yeah. It is amazing. And then you go like online, you're like, oh no, what did I do wrong? Why did it go like this? And then it's like, well, no matter what you do, it's gonna be something, there's good and bad and everything. And there's really no right decision,
yeah,
which just makes you feel like, all right, you just gotta play the game like you would make those decisions
exactly.
and yeah.
So coming back to Gwent, because we can geek out about The Witcher for a super long time,
Yeah.
probably easily.
Easily.
Circling back to Gwent, so you started in beta, right?
Yes.
What was your favorite, let's say, deck or meta throughout, from beta to now, if you have to like choose? I know it's hard to choose one, but is there
Yeah.
is there like a deck or a meta that kind of stayed in your mind, saying like, wow, this was really cool?
Yeah, definitely. The whole Nilfgaard reveal stuff was pretty cool back then. And that's maybe something that we don't really have to the same extent in the game now.
Hmm.
Then I remember dwarves, I remember great swords, and but yeah, Nilfgaard reveal, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, good choice, good choice. I also still remember old discard Skellige back in beta
Yes.
times, which I used to really really love. Although I know it's not Scoia'tael, but that was, I think, the one that I
Mm-hmm.
move on. And yeah, dwarfs, I remember I used to play quite a lot, and I also liked playing the no unit deck that was all specials and had the busted weathers at the time. I remember playing
Yeah.
that. I know it's not good, but and I know I shouldn't be admitting to that, but it happened. It happened. It was fun.
Uh-oh.
It was fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. When it comes to streaming, how often do you stream normally on a weekly basis? Does it really take up too much from your like personal time plus your work time? How do you try to like manage these two things?
Yeah, I do try to keep a bit of a schedule. Usually weekdays, afternoon, I would like to be online, and then whenever I can, I can do an early stream. Whenever I feel like going live, I will
Mm-hmm.
go live and stream. So I don't have the most set schedule, and also I feel like streaming on days when you might not be in like the best mood or and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, it might not be a good idea
Yeah.
either. Because I kind of don't want to shift whatever I have going on to my viewers either. So then I just feel like it's better not to stream and just do it for fun because I wouldn't ever want streaming to become like this grindy process that you have to do because I feel like that's when you burn out.
Yeah,
So I
for
try to
sure.
avoid that, but still stream as regularly as I can.
Yeah, I think it's like you mentioned, it's very easy to burn out if you're like on a strict schedule that you have to play,
Hmm.
every day at a certain hour for a center like some amount of time. And I also like it's really crazy how people can stick to one title always and just play one thing and one
Yeah.
thing only. And then like I know there are of course streamers that they specialize only in one type of game or one title, and they're like the best at it, and it's super awesome to watch them. And sometimes it's only you watch them for gameplay, but sometimes you also watch them for the entertainment value more than the gameplay itself, so you try to kind of like mix it up. But I also agree with you, if you try to like force it on yourself, then I think it's also less fun to watch because you see that the person doing it is doing it by force, let's say, instead of doing it for
Yeah.
fun. So yeah.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, you've been streaming as well. Every now and then, you can pop on the Gwent section on Twitch, and you can find you streaming there. Is it for you as well? Like kind of like, oh, I feel like going live now, and then you do and you enjoy it that way. Like, what is when are you having fun when streaming, and when do you feel like maybe it's better to not stream?
For me, I like, since I do it very rarely, to be honest, apart from doing Twigs. Like I like the podcast format that we have here when we're going back and forth, and I also like appearing and talking about things, like seeing comments in chat and interacting with people more than I like the aspect of just playing, like showing gameplay, right? Because I know that maybe
Hmm.
I am not the best person to show my gameplay, but I really like the social aspect of it. So the interaction with people, like talking, seeing comments, and I think that's what kind of gets me more into it. Because, and I feel like it's good in on days where I don't know, maybe I don't know, work is hard or something like that, and just want to go live and just kind of, you also mentioned this somewhere in the beginning, that it's kind of like a disconnect from what you normally do, and who you kind of, not maybe who you normally are, but kind of doing something different, right? So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, plus like for me, always in games and like working with community, I think community is the biggest aspect, right? So you also
Hundred
notice that when
percent.
you're streaming all the time, you're starting to build a community around you, and I think that's also really cool.
Yeah, that is like my favorite aspect of streaming as well. Is just the people that I've been able to meet and learn to know. I mean, maybe not even met in real life, but still people that play a really big part in my life now. Is through streaming and seeing those people and being able to talk to them and building connections is just my favorite thing ever. It's so cool, and
Yeah.
streaming enables that. So
Yeah, actually, just meeting those people in real life later is just incredible, because you get to
yes,
interact online and then you get to meet them in person. It's like, oh my god, this is you, and it's really cool. And yeah, plus also like I really enjoy when people are making a lot of like memes, they're making a lot of content, a lot of videos, a lot of like content that you can consume, watch, listen to. I think it also like it makes the whole thing thrive even more, right? So I really like this aspect of it for sure, because I am
yeah.
that type of person that can. get lost in YouTube content and algorithms and kind of watching things and going. And
Yep.
yeah, I totally get that. Speaking of that, where can people find you if they haven't found you yet when it comes to like seeing your content and seeing your streams and stuff like that? Mainly Twitch, right?
Yeah, Twitch, definitely mainly. I stream under the nickname Ceely, but with two C's because someone stole my name. I still, they don't even use that account for streaming.
Which
But
is
no,
bad. Don't do
really,
that.
really terrible. Don't do that. So with two C's on Twitch, and then just Twitter is the Ceely Twitch, and I do make the occasional YouTube video. I like putting a lot of time into them, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I'm a
Yeah.
little bit slow at making videos. But I have a video that I'm gonna make on this patch on probably my favorite deck so far. Yeah.
Nice. Nice, good stuff. Yeah. Also, just to briefly mention that the overlay that you're seeing here should be double E, not double L. So I will let
Oh yeah.
I will let the graphic designer know that yeah, he pretty much effed up. So
That's all good.
so yeah, just go double E, not double L. So sorry about that, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you guys get. I also saw that people, I think in chat also saw it. So yeah, easy, easy.
Nice.
All right, awesome. Ceely, good stuff. Thank you for coming over.
Thank you so much.
I'll be closing this one off. It was awesome to talk to you. It was awesome to have you. For the next one, we might do it on Thursday because next week is going to be crazy for us at work, and I think we also have an internal thing at the studio happening on Friday. So we might move Twig to Thursday, and I plan to have the new game director on, Vlad, and I will be taking everyone's questions for that one, starting probably either tonight or sometime on the weekend. So yeah, get ready for that one because it's gonna be a big one for sure. I like it that we're mixing it up right now, that we have people from the community and also people from the studio, so you can all ask your questions. So yeah. Ceely, any closing statements or anything you want to add at the end?
I want to give a big shout out to the random name generator for having the option of voting me in. And thank you for voting me in. And then Feldy for Twig.
Yes. Erfeldi simply will just get invited in one of the episodes instead of doing, because yeah, I also like saw people's feedback, and I totally agree that it might sometimes feel like a popularity contest, which is good for some, but for others. So since we want to make this format, as inclusive as possible, so we'll just have random names picked by me. Or I also said, like, there are some names that might not get a lot of votes, or also people that are not super well known. Geralt, what are you doing? And yeah, and they will also get an invite. So easy clap. Awesome,
That's
Ceely.
good.
Thank you then. Thank you everyone
you.
for watching, and yeah, we shall catch you later. And we'll wave to the camera saying bye.
Bye.